Here's how to wake up early every single day so that you can get more done. In today's video, I'm gonna share my system that allows me to wake up between 4 and 4:30 every single day without feeling tired, without hitting the snooze button, and I'm able to start producing first thing in the morning. So guys, the very first thing we need to talk about is our overall sleep hygiene. So a few things that I personally am always aware of is making sure that I'm not doing anything that is stressful close to my bedtime. So that means I'm not working on any projects that are gonna create stress. I'm not, reading anything or watching anything that is gonna stir my mind up. I'm usually just chilling, doing some low-key stuff. So that's number one, is because you wanna get your mind into a relaxed state so that when you actually do go to bed, you can actually fall asleep quickly. Because a big problem a lot of people struggle with, myself included, is that they cannot fall asleep right away. And what I'll tell you is, once you set a specific bedtime, which is the next point that I'm gonna make, is you need to have a specific bedtime that you stick to, ideally 7 days a week. I get it, maybe one night on the weekend, stay up a little bit later, but for me personally, my bedtime is 9 p.m. sharp. It's not negotiable. Once the clock hits about 8:50, 8:55, I go in, brush my teeth, and start to get ready for bed. And then by 9, I'm in bed. And yeah, when you first start doing this, if you're used to going to bed at like 10, 11, midnight, or even later than that, it's gonna feel pretty difficult. It's gonna be kind of hard to fall asleep. It could take you, an hour or even more to fall asleep. Some main tips there is just deal with it. The first maybe 3-4 days of doing it, it's kind of gonna suck. You're gonna just have to deal with it. But you're gonna need to still commit to that wake up time regardless of what time you end up falling asleep, because that's how you're gonna get your body on that cycle and start waking up at the time you want and actually going to bed shortly after you get into bed, instead of laying there rolling around. When you're in bed, no phones, nothing like that. Put your phone on airplane mode, set your alarm clock, make sure everything's ready to go. But definitely don't be like one of those people who's in their bed scrolling social media. That's not gonna be good for you as far as getting up on time. Some other tips that I recommend that help me tremendously are eating my last meal about 3 hours before I actually go to bed. Because this allows proper digestion, and your body is not working to digest food, especially heavier food, like high-fat food or heavily processed food that's gonna have to work extra hard, which is gonna keep your heart rate elevated at night and make you feel worse the next morning. You're not gonna feel as good when you wake up. So 3 hours is really kind of the minimum that I recommend. I have extensive data on this thanks to my Oura ring. Again, this is called the Oura ring. You can pick one up. They're about $400. It's well worth it. I've run one for 4 years now, so I have a lot of data on my body, my overall health. And that's one thing I noticed for sure, is that if I don't eat close to bedtime, my scores are much higher, my sleep is much better. Another thing I don't recommend doing is drinking a lot of water as you get close to bed, because for me, I try to be done drinking water at least 2-3 hours in advance, just because you're not going to want to have to get up and go to the bathroom, right? Even if you have to do that once, it's going to disrupt your sleep, and you're not going to feel as good when you wake up the next morning, which is key to getting out of bed on time if you want to wake up early. And for me, early, I consider like 5 o'clock or earlier, realistically. Right now, I'm starting to train my body to get up at 4. As far as, other tips that I would suggest, definitely making sure that you are focused on getting some type of sunlight during the day. So if you can in the morning, get some sunlight. If you can in the evening, get some, that twilight evening sunset. That's good for you. Also working out. Make sure you're working out, because that's gonna tire your body out more, and it's gonna let your body naturally get into a deeper sleep state and repair itself, right? I get quite a bit of deep sleep, according to this Oura ring here, and it's interesting to see that. Some other obvious stuff is like alcohol destroys your sleep, totally destroys it. A lot of people think that it helps them sleep. Could not be further from the truth. It absolutely is detrimental to your sleep. So definitely, if you want to get up early and feel good, definitely skip any alcohol. Marijuana, I don't think it's beneficial for sleep. A lot of people will say it is, Personally, I have not found that to be the case in my situation. So as far as, let's talk about the benefits of waking up early. So as I shoot this video, it's like maybe 6:15 in the morning. I've been up since 4, right? I've already gotten 2 hours of solid production work done for a new business I'm working on. Now I'm getting in a workout, right? And this is my first workout of the day. So I have to go back, you know, have some meetings, work, you know, a bunch of other stuff I need to complete for the day. And then I'm gonna hit my second workout in the gym, lift some weights. So right then and there, you know, I already have 2 hours of work and a workout done by 7 in the morning. Imagine that. Most people who have, you know, regular 9-to-5 job or have some type of commitment, typically they have to be there around 8:30, 9 in the morning. So if you can start waking up at 4, think about all that extra time you're gonna have to improve yourself, whether that's just lifting weights, reading books, learning new skills that's gonna help you in your career, or if you wanna start a business, you can work on it then. There's a ton of different benefits to waking up at 4 because it really gives you extra time that you didn't realize you had. And most people will be like, well, yeah, you gotta go to bed earlier to do that. But here's the thing, most people in the evening time are not really doing anything too productive. In my experience, like once you eat dinner, 2-3 hours after that, you know, spend time with your family, do what you gotta do. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you're spending 2-3 hours in the evening with quality time with your family, that's plenty of time in my opinion. What most people do is they don't follow a real sleep schedule. They just watch TV till whenever, you know, they're snacking on the couch at night, doing other poor habits that are gonna lead to low quality sleep, making it very difficult to wake up when you wanna wake up in the morning. So guys, those are some tips that have helped me out tremendously. The biggest one I can say though is staying on a consistent schedule. So if you're gonna commit to whatever time that is, bedtime and wake time, stick with it at least 6 days a week. And if it's, let's say you wanna stay up a little later on a Saturday, don't you know, stay up way later and sleep in like 3-4 hours after, because then it's gonna be hard to get to bed that Sunday night. And you know, you're kind of restarting that sleep schedule. So the closer you can keep the times together, the easier it's gonna be. And after a while, it starts to feel effortless. And you know, I have the data to back this up on my Oura ring. When you're in a really good sleep schedule, your body is operating at its highest potential. It's in peak recovery because it's starting to know what exactly it's gonna, you know, to expect every single day. And you know, I'll make another video on food, eating, how that helps as far as all different facets of your life. But I've found that keeping those two things the most consistent have helped me get really good sleep every single night, waking up no problem, no snooze button at 4:30 in the morning, and feeling great, ready to take on the day, getting a bunch of stuff done. So guys, if you want to be more productive, you know, take your sleep seriously, take your wake up times extremely seriously. Either way, right, I do these videos every single day, sharing different insights I'm learning, documenting my journey. If that sounds interesting to you, if you're on a similar path, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment, let me know, are you struggling with your sleep cycle or do you have it dialed in? Guys, I will see you tomorrow.